Alrighty, what we've got here is an insane 5-star run that is a pacifist style. So I don't do any damage to any dinosaur whatsoever during this run. I've gone with Rosie as being my hero of choice for this, as her passive allows her to regain health, and the fact that she just has a lot of health is very helpful. I selected the machine gun as I find that gun to be more accurate than the minigun or the rocket launcher for some of the stuff that you need to do later, or the shotgun for that matter, the other guns that she could use. I also selected ammo packs as the grenade and just an equipment pack for the supply drop. More so I didn't accidentally click on them and then use them, especially the ammo packs. So what I'm going to be doing is running around and just basically not damaging dinosaurs. Like, essentially you cast your ability like what I just did to check. So if you do damage, you'll see in your ability icon that will actually come up and you'll get a little bit of progress to it if you've dealt damage. So that's what I use for checking whether or not I did damage or not. There will be a few times where I'll speed up this just to make it quicker, because it did take 37 minutes and it's already going to take a while. So here it's literally just running around trying not to get hit the entire time. I do take a fair bit of damage early on as I'm trying to work out roughly the best way to go about it. As you can see, I try to keep the bulls trapped behind the rocket boosters, I guess. I'm not sure what they're called. The thrusters, that's probably the correct word. But yeah, you try and keep them trapped behind the thrusters. And then because I'd used 2 health packs, I now run to go grab equipment now. But I do get interrupted and then just, well, decide to grab another one, because why not? Make sure you're full. I'll run across now to the camp, and from the camp I'll slow it down a little bit. A little bit past the camp, I think I'll slow it down. This is the biggest part. For doing a pacifist run, what happens is anything that you bring down, so things like this booster packet, or if it's a dropship container and stuff like that, when they shoot up or when they drop down, they can actually do damage to the dinosaurs. And so what I do is I try and get it and then run away, and hopefully they don't get shot up by them and things like that. So here I'm just running, I shot down the drone, and then same thing again. Do a booster, grab the drone, and just try and go like that, I guess. I'm not sure what else to say about it, other than it's more just making sure that before I click the booster, the dinos are well and truly away from it, so that you're not going to cop that incidental damage. So the damage of the container shooting up does not affect it. I believe that's a recent change, because I'm sure the last couple of times I tried to do this challenge, it didn't quite work that way. Here we have the holo. This is the only holo I think I actually play through on full speed. Just to show that even if you were playing this normally, if you just run past the dinosaurs, you'll notice here I don't think I actually take any damage through the entire holo mission. So yeah, you could use this in a regular game. Just run past the dinos. Their AI is not that great that they're going to hit you ever. If you don't stop moving, you'll get past without even... Yeah, you could do this on an Amir, who is traditionally thought to be one of the weaker heroes. If you're not taking damage, it doesn't really matter. So here we go again. I'll quickly speed over. Same again, dropping the boosters. What I do is I try and not aggro the mob that was just near here. I think I do in the end, but that way they're not going to... I'm not running the risk of them getting hit by the boosters as they go up. Again, camps and then go. Up at the radar, same thing. Hitting the eggs as you go as well, you might notice I'm speeding through them, but hitting the eggs gives some guaranteed research points, at least one per item you get. So typically you'll get 6 to 12 things from a collection of eggs, so that's extra research that you're going to need, which ends up being very helpful to me. What we've got here is we hit the drone, we've got the Rex, but he doesn't seem to attack to start with. It was a little bit odd. So I'm running around and then it gets to this point where suddenly there's a lot of dinos, and so rather than run the risk of hitting them with some with containers, I decide just to leave it, just to run away, hit up some eggs, go up to the radar instead, and I'll come back for that later. To do a pacifist run, it really requires a lot of patience, which is what was stuffing me up a fair bit to start with, was the fact that I didn't have patience. I like speed. When I play the game, speed is the aim of the game. But here again, I'm freaking out a little bit, not thinking that I'll be able to do it. So I run away to try and de-aggro everything. So I just do a big loop. I checked just there, back there, if there was a black box. There wasn't. And so by doing that big loop, they've now dispersed. So if you ever do need that in a regular game, it's more than likely something you could do yourself, is just run away. No shame in running away. A radar, when you have to heal it, I think it's about 30 seconds. 25, I think it might be 25. I think it's 5 seconds per little section, and there being 5 times 5, 25. Again, running back through, now I go back to what I had started to do before, and I make sure I jump away so that when they're jumping at me, they're further away from it. So you're always trying to bait the raptors into doing what you're wanting them to do. So again, you bait them into coming to you, or kite them towards yourself. Go in quickly. Oh, there was a Rex. Anyway, don't bother fighting Rexes. You're not going to kill them by doing no damage to them. Run, and we're at a camp. And then we're go. Nothing really to see here other than we've got black boxes. Black box is something you'll want if you're trying to do a pacifist run, or any run for that matter. Black boxes are some of the easiest research points you can get. I do have a video out on how to get the majority of them. I'm working on updating that at the moment. I have all the pieces together, I've just got to put them actually into a video where it shows all of the different locations for the black boxes as they come in 3 different there's 3 different spawn patterns per location. Again, it's starting up the different extraction zones. So healing this one's simple enough. Make sure that I take it away, get the dinosaurs to come to me, then putting it in and making sure I don't die. I got a little bit close there. And then again, same again. It's grab your booster. The repair halting wasn't a big deal. I was after more to get the points. Get that dinosaur to come towards me, which he does. Then start setting off the booster. And then it's a matter of just running around and making sure you don't, die. So that this part's fairly straightforward. It's just cut laps and keep an eye on where the big dinos are. The little dinos aren't a big deal. It'll be the Ankies and the bulls that will stuff you up in a situation like this. I think it's 80 seconds to repair an extraction site. I'm pretty sure it's 80 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, 80 seconds to repair an extraction site, so that way you know roughly how long you need to be running around for. Again, here's just a big walking simulator or running simulator, if you will. So we'll just speed through this part. I freak out a little bit up here in a moment, because there is the black box to get, and I lost a run not too long ago, actually literally like just before this, where it was at this exact spot that I caused 41 damage to happen. So rather than run the risk of that, I decided just to leave it. Again, patience is the key to doing a run like this, especially seeing as it can just stuff up on you for something that's out of your control. Like if a dino's near a container that gets shot up, or the boosters that get shot up, then suddenly that costs you your run. Doesn't seem very fair, but that's the decisions. So here I'll put 3 boosters on in a moment, and then I try and kite out the dinos so that they'll come up and I can then run in and put the last booster on. I do make the mistake of discarding the carrier though, which wasn't intentional, but probably actually worked out in my favor, because it meant that they had to it meant that I could drag them further away. And the main part was getting the Anki to have to jump up so that he takes a little bit longer. Obviously it's just baiting the AI of the different dinos into doing what you want them to do. So yeah, big long run, speedy boy, run past it, it's just running around, going up to the next part. So another container that I could see, that I was like, well, that's an easy 21 points. If you've watched my guide on 5-staring missions, it goes through the amount of research you get per objective. However, it is a little bit wrong, I found out. The hollows actually give 70, but I'm also finding some inconsistencies with the amount of research given for some things over others. Because this black box up here, I believe, only gave me 56, when it should always give 84. So I feel like there's a little bit of inconsistency in the amount of points given for some objectives. Same as the hollows in Lata Plains gave 42, whereas in Vultus they gave 70. So I might have to question that for some people. But here again, had to play it very slow, drag the dinos down, then run up, put the drop, the booster pack thing down, then run away, rinse and repeat. Drag the dinos down, and then run back up. So it was a lot of just maneuvering around. And again, that's, well, part and parcel of the game really. Is if you're always moving, you get hit far less, which you could hopefully clearly see given the amount of dinosaurs that are around and the amount of damage I'm actually taking. Provided you move, you stay safe. So you did it and then ran, and yeah, 56 points when it should have been 84. It's a little bit inconsistent, but I'm sure we'll figure out why that is later. So yeah, I didn't see any point in making this go 4 times speed, just 2 times speed. Again, you're just literally running around trying to keep an eye on where the big dinos are. So seeing the Anki coming means jump behind something. Keeping an eye on it, he's trapped there. And again, just make him turn around, go back. Oh, make him turn around again. Just keep him confused, essentially. It's easier when there's only one Anki. If there was multiple, it'd be a little bit harder, for obvious reasons. Here again, camp, and then Speedy Boy out to another camp. Oh, I even get the golden egg. So if you're after the golden egg, that is just in here. In a moment, I run out to where the golden egg is located. So golden egg's located just up here near that tree on the right hand side. So just here. It's just in, I should have shown a map of it. Maybe I'll put that in post edit. But yeah, it's just near the contact radar. So if you do the mission contact, the radar dish and stuff like that, it's near that area. So again, just running past on the hollows, I take I think it's a smidgen of damage during this one, but again, running past the dinos, you don't get hit. Like, if you're not running past dinos and fighting when you feel like it, you're hamstringing yourself, really. It was this stage I realised I was actually getting quite close, and I hadn't stuffed up my run yet, so I started getting a little bit more worried. So because I was a little bit more worried, I was being a little bit more cautious with whether or not I chose to complete an activity or an objective. So here's, I decided, oh, I could, but for 21 points it wasn't worth it, so I just kept going. And so ran around over to the radar relay. Radar, a safe 28 points. You don't have to bring anything down. Again, because I was getting close, this is where I thought to I used my only cheese spot that I really used for the whole run, really. I used one cheese spot by jumping up on top of this dropship. I probably could have got away with not doing it, but there's cheese spots, you can abuse them. I don't particularly like to use them often, so I was sitting just up here so I couldn't get damaged for a little bit until they eventually pathed towards me. Yeah, you can use cheese spots if you want, but typically you don't need to. The game's not that hard that you need to cheese it. You can just keep yourself moving at all times and you'd be pretty safe too. So again, we go off, we grab the eggs on the way, so that's 11 research just from that. Grab the camp and we're off, another camp, quickly grab it and then go again. It was around this time that I was really starting to try and calculate roughly how much research I was going to need and how many easy objectives I could grab. So knowing I was only 200 points really, I decided to not grab some of the containers because it was running the risk of dinos getting hit by them for not enough of a reward. So by hitting the drones and then hitting up the camps, they were much safer points, and it was about more safety by this stage, seeing as by the time you've played it for, given it this amount of attempts, you really just want to get it done. I haven't seen any other pacifist runs, at least not a recent pacifist run, seeing as it's the game's been out quite a while and they have made it more difficult. It's still not super hard, as you can see here. It's not super hard or super difficult. And here I was just deciding whether it was a good idea. I missed the first one that I wanted to do, and then I was like, oh, we'll just freak out. We freaked out, and then we were like, nah, alright, go back in once they jump on you, and then just start running around, cutting laps. Yeah, I'm not sure if there have been many pacifist runs made, at least not since they've upped the difficulty. I do believe they'll still up the difficulty further before the game's fully released, as there are a lot of people complaining that the game is too easy, particularly if you have a team. Less so if you're playing solo, but you can still just as easily play the game solo with the right weapon loadout. So here I now know that I'm super close to having enough points. It was 69 points off. I know that I was 28 points from this, And then I quickly, when I realised how much I had, I did the quick math of I get 42 points when I extract in a red threat zone, which again, if you've watched my guide, it says that. And so then I start to extract, and I just start cutting laps, running around, making sure not to deal any damage, and just hoping that that it stays true, basically. Like there wasn't too much more to it really, other than it's just a whole bunch of run around, try not to get hit, take less damage than as low amount of damage as possible, because that does make it easier. And then it's just, yeah, I keep track of where the bulls are. That's another key aspect. And again, this is a challenge that there's no reason to do it, to play the game this way, other than I needed something to do. And seeing as the weekly challenge I'd already put some times in for. If you're part of the Discord, join the Discord. They have some fun challenges. Na makes lots of little challenges up. She's trying really hard to make the game, or to build the community around the game. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I'm pretty sure it's Na. French. But yeah, we got it, and I just speed this part up a little bit because it's a little bit too far or too slow. It's always slow on this black screen, even at 2 times speed. I feel like this is taking forever. We got our loot, which wasn't the main objective. The main objective was, again, to take the least amount of damage as possible, which it was. I hope you enjoy, and as always, happy dino hunting.